Hey everybody, it's Lyndon here, the founder of Eat Up. We are so excited to be working with you all at the Lions and Leo's Next Gen Nexus conference. We can't wait, we're super pumped. We have a big task ahead of us, so we're going to be trying to make nearly 4,000, maybe more, sandwiches for disadvantaged Australian school children who would otherwise miss out. And we can only make this number of sandwiches with phenomenal volunteer support. The Lions and Leo's Next Gen and Nexus Club have helped us with this a number of times, and we're so grateful that they've rounded up the broader Leo and Lions groups to help us make as many sandwiches as possible. I'm going to show you a few tips, because I know the room is going to be so full, where you can get a really good line of sight of the key roles. So our volunteers, you'll be doing two key tasks. You'll be either making sandwiches or wrapping sandwiches. Our first role, we get people to specialize rather than make and wrap and then stack themselves. We'll have just makers and just wrappers. So for the makers, first key question, the bread will be on the table ready for you, and we'll have other volunteers who are making sure the tables are stocked up with bread. First key question we get is, what do we do with the crusts? We actually use these in the sandwiches, but we have a special tip. So what we'll get you to do is to put the margarine on the crust side of the bread, just like this. So when you make the sandwich, it's the white sort of part of the bread that is facing out. And that'll just make sure, it's a little bit of a trick of ours actually, but what we do get you to make sure of is just try not to put two crusts together, because that's not too good. We don't want to do that. Importantly though, by using these crusts at an event as big as this, where we're going to be making upwards of 400 loaves of bread, that's an extra 400 sandwiches we get across an event this big by using those loaves. So my tip, lay out as much of the bread as you possibly can in your space. So you're going to have really good room. So rather than making one at a time, lay out the full loaf. These spreaders are sort of our secret weapon, so you'll enjoy using these. Put a good even spread onto the bread, and you want to try and make sure it's even and all to the sides of the bread. You want to make sure it's fully covered, but you don't want it to be too thick that you can't see the grain of the bread through the margarine. So that's a good tip that we have. Once you've got these columns, we're making cheese sandwiches. These become cheese toasties at the school. So one tip, one slice of cheese per sandwich. If you've got the columns there, you might have the top row with cheese, bottom without, and then flip it up, making sure you've got one slice of cheese. And then that's the sandwich made. We don't have to cut it, so that's done. So makers, when you've done that, you'll know that there's a sandwich wrapper, either on your left, on your right, or opposite you, depending on where you're sitting. So hand that across. That's the makers done. Wrappers, this is a really key role. The most important part is making sure that the sandwiches are fully covered and nice and airtight. So lift up the cling wrap, pull it right to the edge of the table, put the sandwich on before it's cut, so you get a little bit of tension at the top. This blue bar slides across nice and gently. That cuts the cling wrap. This is a key part. Rather than pulling the cling wrap down, lift it up, and you'll see it just breaks nice and easily. Down from the top, up from the bottom. And once you get to this part, you can put some pressure on the sandwich and lift those edges out and up and over, and that'll make sure it's nice and airtight. There we go. Once you've done that, put the sandwiches, the wrap sandwiches to the side, and you're going to stack them into piles of 5. And you'll keep wrapping each sandwich individually till they're all done. And then you'll have people who are picking up those wrap sandwiches and stacking them into our crates. And if we do that together, we don't have to race. It'll be taking as much care as we possibly can, recognizing that this is going to become a lunch for a child that otherwise would have missed out. So this simple act of care and generosity is going to make a really important difference in somebody's day. So make sure we take each sandwich and give it with a lot of love and care. If we do that with as many of us as done, we're going to power through this effort. And here's sandwich number 1. Here's a few we prepared earlier. So this is 1,000 sandwiches right here. Each crate holds 100 sandwiches. And there's 10 crates. We're going to have 4,000 plus with us coming up. So it's going to be pretty special to see and to get through all of that effort and to think of the amazing difference you're making each and every single lunch you make. So thank you so much for your support. We can't wait to see you, and let's have some fun.